issues regressively. And Trump is the only one that's spewing their bullshit. They are the same level of racist that Trump is. The difference is that Trump is saying it out loud and making them all look stupid.
Shujin.
What I was going to say was, forgive me for self-promotion for a second. Some weeks ago, I did a 5-minute freestyle, an opening rant, if you will, on my show. It was called Numbers Matter. And I made a direct comparison to how Trump has been stirring up the nationalistic, the racism, the us against them, the stirring up the pot, and made a direct comparison with him to how it was in Germany in the 1920s and 30s, the beginnings of Nazism and the rise of Adolf Hitler. But the part of it was, I didn't look at what it was that Trump had said, except for the pieces that were the same. My point was that you use the same talking points. These were exactly the same ones that were used that bring Adolf Hitler up into power and made him the absolute popular juggernaut that he became. Am I hauling out Godwin's Law straight away? Sorry, but as they say, if the swastika fits.
I would say, though, that the difference in, yes, he is polarizing, and yes, he does have the same style of rhetoric, that he's not as full on as I don't even want to say it, as Hitler was. But the one major key difference is that we have social media and the access readability of information for people that think and for people that want to know. The difference is society back then didn't have the amount of information that we have. Would you not agree with that?
Will I agree with that? Yes, but again, with a caveat, does it really look like it's making any kind of a difference in how the people are taking it all?
Well, I would say yes, and tonight was kind of a proving factor in that. The confrontation between the two sides, you didn't really see a full-on confrontation like that back then. Yes, you had people that were speaking in dissent, but they didn't really have a platform like a podcast, like Twitter, like Facebook, to go on and speak out against the people. You didn't have somebody like Bernie Sanders that was running up against and gaining momentum, gaining speed, that is the complete opposite of what we're talking about when we speak about somebody like Donald Trump or a Hitler or a Stalin. Would you agree or no?
We're not going to have the same things. There's no two ways about that. I simply won't argue with that because it's true. I mean, but were there analogs? Yes. There were underground papers. There were leaflets. There were mixtapes. But it was a matter of that now the average Joe or Jaeger has the opportunity of getting their voice out more. But what's happening with the individuals who are in the debates, that's not the important part. What's important is what are they making happen because of what they're talking about. And if what they're making happen is people getting sucker punched in the face for no other reason other than they have a better tan, something's wrong.
But would you not say that was already an underlying factor in the fabric of the society in the United States of America?
Has that been there? Yes. Yeah. But does it have to metastasize like that?
No.
I think also the fact that President Obama has been president for the last 8 years has brought to the fore the bubbling undercurrent of racism in America.
No lie there.
You mean President Blackenstein?
Yeah, absolutely. And that undercurrent hasn't needed to be on display before there was a black president, right? Because the status quo was the status quo and everything, you could pretend that it wasn't there. However, now the undercurrent is bubbling forth, and for the last 8 years, the Republicans have been absolutely playing the race card in very politically correct manner, obviously, so as to not be too racist about it, but they have absolutely no doubt about it playing the race card. Even small jibes from Sarah Palin during the first election, right? All the way through to right now. The bigger problem is that they've actually interviewed a large proportion of people in the States who have said that publicly they say that they don't support Donald Trump because they don't want to be slandered as racist, but when they go in to vote, they do vote for him. So publicly they're saying that he's a complete nincompoop, but when they actually go to vote, they actually agree with that racist rhetoric, which is ridiculous.
So I would like to say, the Republican debates have stolen the media, but for me today, kind of a shining light was, and it's going to sound fucking so cheesy, was Barack Obama and Justin Trudeau. I don't know if anybody caught the press conference of that, but it was like the complete polar opposite of what those fucking morons on the right are talking about. Did anybody catch the presser or any of the cliff notes from it?
No. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I got alerts and I sort of understood the general tone of it. You know, both sides with similar political views.
Looking at the way that the Republicans have been behaving and looking at their debates, it actually made me proud of our countries or our left parties to see these two. And I will admit, I didn't vote for Justin. He's not. I'm a social democrat. He's liberal. But it made me proud of the way that the left and the way that our countries are handling ourselves with the far right rhetoric that is going on with the Republican Party. The fact that they put climate and middle class at the forefront, and just the trade between our two countries, easier border crossing without fear mongering. It was a real nice break to hear rational, thought out plans instead of micro dick size.
Going back to that debate with the penis bullshit, I have to say, because the week before the debate was absolutely ridiculous as well. It was just a big name-calling, shouting match, right? It was just hideous. And the week before I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, I can't go any lower than this. And then boom, they come out with fucking...
Fuck you, like,
Jesus, man. Every single week you look at them and you think, no, this is the bottom. Yeah, no, we've reached the bottom.
Yeah,
and
then Trump has dragged them there, though, eh?
Oh, no, look, they've been being dragged.
I know, but just the fact that they're just, like, talking about dicks in a fucking presidential nomination debate,
it's just an embarrassment globally, honestly.
I like it. It's great.
That's
I don't
because you like dick, though.
What I don't like is the fact that, people can get punched at rallies and the increase. I don't like people to get hurt because of the rhetoric that Trump is espousing, but Trump is doing a great job making the GOP implode. And
totally.
I love it.
You couldn't have asked for a better plant if you tried. Honestly.
If he is a plant.
If he is actually being paid to go in there and be a dick.
Yeah. We'll go to a commercial.
Hi, this is Trav Mamone of the By Any Means podcast. Join me every week as I talk to activists, bloggers, and podcasters about the intersections between social justice and humanism. Go to www.byanymeans.com, that's by spelled B-I, to listen to the podcast and read my blog. Besides, aren't we all a little bi-curious?
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
This is Big Gay World, where we bring you news from home and around the globe. Earlier this week, a rather strange ruling came down from a U.S. District Court. Judge Perez Gimenez, in his decision, claimed that the Obergefell ruling doesn't apply to Puerto Rico because of its status as a, quote, unincorporated territory. In some peculiar feat of legal reasoning, Gimenez cited other cases in his ruling to argue that fundamental rights afforded by the 14th Amendment do not automatically apply to Puerto Rico without the express intervention of the state legislature and or the courts. Shortly after the opinion was released, however, the ACLU attorney Joshua Block noted a 1976 Supreme Court decision stating that despite ambiguity overall regarding how and when the U.S. Constitution applies to Puerto Rico, quote, it is clear now, however, that the protections afforded by the Due Process Clause of the Fifth Amendment or the Due Process and Equal Protection Clauses of the 14th Amendment apply to residents of Puerto Rico, end quote. Thankfully, later in the week, the governor, Alejandro Garcia Padilla, denounced the ruling, indicating his intent to appeal, while also reassuring LGBT Puerto Ricans that it would not affect their ability to get married. Padilla expressed that the fundamental right to marriage was validated and ordered by the U.S. Supreme Court and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, and that he would respect those higher court rulings, which are contrary to the decision of Judge Perez Gimenez.
Perez.
Do that again,
Yeah,
Corinne. Do it again, Corinne.
What?
Do it again.
Perez.
Yeah, there.
Well, she is Puerto Rican. So.
Fuck off, bro.
And I'm sorry, did you say his name was Jimenez?
Yes, with a G.
Oh, with a
I could
G.
be pronouncing it wrong, but
Well, if it was a J, I was thinking it was Jimenez.
yeah.
But I sit back and I shit myself the fuck up again.
So yeah, just to start the conversation. So yeah, he did use a bit of some. I don't know if you guys read the ruling, but he did cite some.
Yeah, so I didn't exactly read the ruling. I just read the first paragraph, and then
In
I
fact,
was
he
like,
just read the
"You're an
first
asshole."
word. He doesn't know what's going on.
I'm just a straight white cisgendered asshole.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, no other comments about that story.
Okay, so they're not going to abide by the Supreme Court ruling, right?
They will, but
They will.
this judge decided that it doesn't automatically apply. The Supreme Court ruling doesn't apply to Puerto Rico, but the governor said that he will go by the ruling.
Okay. Don't they have representatives or a representative in Congress?
They do, but they don't do anything. They're just there as a placeholder.
They're not allowed to vote, I was under the impression.
Yeah, they can't vote.
Really? Shit, I need to go back to high school government class.
When I first read this story, I thought it was an underhanded states thing for Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico is that unincorporated territory. To me, I could be wrong, but it seemed like the judge was simultaneously putting forth a pro Puerto Rico as a state argument nested within this social issue in order to further that. I'm not sure if anyone else got that impression.
It's a very weird connection there, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
because it's not a state, it's its own independent country, isn't it?
No, it's a territory. It has it has its own constitution. I guess every state has a constitution, but it doesn't have full statehood.
Because there's other islands in the Pacific that are also part of Congress. American Samoa is one, and there's a couple of others.
Virgin Islands.
Yeah, that are also the same. They've got a representative in Congress that does fuck all.
Mm. Yeah, and the issue here, I guess, is where the Constitution applies, and clearly the Judge Jimenez's reasoning is not sound in terms of what the constitutional.
Is Puerto Rico progressive?